off. We was having so much fun backstage, we almost didn't go live with y'all.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Keep on trucking, baby. Keep on trucking.
Okay, no plan tonight. No, we're just going to talk about things that make us happy because we've all had a
shitty week.
Or month, I should say, with the retrograde.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like emails missing and getting unsubscribed from people's channels that I watch daily.
Yep.
What just got knocked over?
Yep. Hey, Book. Hey, Nest. Hi, Wiki.
Hi, Book.
Nice to see you here.
Yeah.
Hi, Book. Hi, Nest. Hi, Wiki. Hi, Lisa.
And Lisa's here.
Hey.
Yay.
Yay. Everybody's here. All right.
Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
When that song came out.
You know what? I saw a t-shirt not too long ago that said, seriously? Is everybody really Kung Fu fighting?
Right. Certainly not everyone was Kung Fu fighting.
No, not everyone. Not it. And then there's another one.
Close to it.
No. This was a sign, and I'm seriously contemplating getting it. And it said, you come from dust. You will return to dust. That's why I don't dust. It could be someone I know.
I mean, yeah, I like that. It's a cautionary tale. I mean,
Really?
Yes.
Don't clean up your
That
dead
could be my
relatives.
Uncle John. Yeah. My Uncle Paul, my Uncle John.
That's
You never
great.
know.
Yeah, you know, your last day on this earth may be trying to drive down a mountain during the middle of a snowstorm.
Yes,
That's right.
that's right.
Yeah.
Hello, UCC Steve. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome
You
to our
are
show.
listener.
Hi, Rossi. Hi, Linda.
Rossi.
Hi, Barbara.
Hey, Rossi.
Let's
we got all kinds of
dance.
people popping. We
Let's
already got
sing.
33 people in the room.
Hi, Linda
Nice.
Thompson and Barbara Nesper. Yeah. Hi, gals.
Excellent. Hey,
Oh,
Yes, we
I got
all are
something in-
dust in the wind.
dust in the wind.
Something in my eye other than my eyeball.
Yeah.
Well, my
Yes,
girlfriend
Rossi, yeah,
lost
I
her,
like to have my dead relatives near. You never know.
well, my
I
friend
call on
Mary
them
lost
often.
her husband, so she's going to cremate him and put him up on the shelf with mom and dad and all the dogs and the kitty cats.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I got my mom up on the shelf, you know.
Okay. She's not an elf, though.
She's in, we split her ashes in two. A
Yeah.
box for me, a box for my brother. And somebody
Okay.
asked me once when I was saying that, they said, well, which half is which? And I'm like, what? He said, well, you got the upper half or the lower half?
I
said,
know. That's true. That's very
I'm
true.
like, who knows? They're ashes. We shook up the bag and just dumped some in each box.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people are horrified at such a thing. You know, while we're talking about ancestors and ashes, Sharon Sipe lost her sister last night.
Yeah, we were praying for her sister last night, actually.
Yeah, so she passed last night. I saw this earlier today.
Yeah.
And so y'all just keep her in your prayers. And
Will do. Will do.
Lady G Ganga,
Yes.
she's still in the hospital. The last I heard, I don't know
She
when they
lost
let her
one of
out.
her dogs. She lost a
Yeah,
dog.
her baby, Miss Lily Boom Boom,
No.
got out, and they have not been able to find her. Now she is chipped.
Well, then somebody
So,
hopefully
you
will.
know, hopefully, you know, because she's a very friendly little dog. So hopefully somebody took her in and they're going to take her to the vet or the pound and they'll, you know, they'll run a chip. But she was quite upset about that.
Oh, sure.
I thought that's the last damn thing she needs on top of
I know. You don't need that when you had
else, you know.
surgery, for heaven's sake.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yep, I think so. That's a good idea, Ness. Put Apple AirTags on your pets. The batteries last 2 years. That's good. That's good.
oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
And,
Mary.
my son, hi Mary. My son keeps saying he's going to get one of those little webcam things for animals.
Yes.
And put it on the cat, just so he can see what she does when she goes out. she's got 3 buddies that hang out outside the apartment that will show up and start meowing for her to come meet them. And
Wow.
God forbid you try to
Hi,
get in the way
Wayne.
between her and the door.
Hi,
Mhm.
Wayne.
2 gray cats that are almost identical to her. I think they're
All
brothers and sisters. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then a solid black cat. Beautiful black cat. But they're not strays. They don't look like strays. I mean, they're too well fed.
Yeah.
And whatnot to be strays. So I figured they just live in the area and they found themselves a new girlfriend. And
I really recommend choosing to chip animals. I don't see
Yes.
anything wrong. It doesn't hurt them.
no,
And
it doesn't hurt them at all.
it really saves them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Especially if you've got
all
one
of
that
ours are
loves
done.
to slip out the back door when you're not looking. Hi,
Positive plug.
Wayne. Hi, Laura.
Yes.
Hi, Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah.
It's a
Hi,
what is it?
Sue.
A public announcement. What is
Yes.
it? Positive public announcement brought to you by Bosco.
Yeah. Public service announcement. PSA.
And you don't know
Well,
what
they
that
have a
is, and
thing
so
on,
that's what makes it fun.
they have
Yes.
a pet thing on Facebook now where you can go in. If you lose your pet or something, you can go in and put a picture and post it. And they will shoot it out to everybody in their
Oh, that's
Facebook
nice.
group. And
Yeah.
if you find a pet, you can put it on there. We used it one time when our little dorky got loose during I think it was New Year's Eve fireworks. We had
Yeah,
fireworks.
people
We were
having the
shooting them off,
parties. Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
freaked him out, and he ran off, and it was
Mhm.
hours before he came traipsing back home, covered in mud. So wherever it was he went, he found a mud hole somewhere and hid in it. And but oh my goodness, I
Yeah.
thought my son was going to lose his shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's his,
Yeah.
Well, you know,
that's his baby. That's his
it's
baby. I
awful.
mean,
It's awful. Yeah.
that's his emotional
Thank you,
support animal.
Wayne. I did a reading for Suzanne Rich on Saturday. And of course, Wayne was there as well. And I said, I don't usually do this when I'm, 2 people, because it's always the stronger energy that's going to come through. So I said, we'll give it a try. And it worked out really well. And he said, yeah, Marina proved it's a piece of cake to read for 2 people.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Hey, enough. Oh, now he's going to go into bark mode.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Just deal with it. I do.
Yeah, totally. So
Enough. Ay, ay, ay. Because if
exactly.
it gets going too long, then the big one starts barking, and then you got riff, woof, riff, woof.
I get it.
Back and forth.
I
And they
get it.
go like broken records, just like you can't get them to shut up once they get started. It's like, all right already. You made your point. Stop. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hi, Tammy. I'm trying to see as people pop in.
Yes.
So no real plan tonight. We're just going to keep it light and airy and talk about fun stuff. And Aley, I'll let you lead the show. Why don't you? What's some stuff that makes you feel really good, makes you feel happy?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where's Waldo?
It's your turn.
Well, I'm happy and pleased to be able to be first. So I'll tell you some of the things that I really like that make me happy. And one of them is dun da da da. I love boat gas smell. I love it. It reminds me of being on a boat on Mawson Lake in Maine with my uncle, who was like a grandpa. And we would, my mother would make sure my hair was in pin curls, and then I'd have my scarf on, sit in the back. But just the smell of that boat gas brings back a lot of really good memories. Some of the other things I like, let's see. I like to remain in my pajamas as long as possible, or I like to get in my pajamas as soon as possible, one or the other. I love
anything to take that bra off.
I don't wear one, so I don't have to take it off. That's the good part. Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know Whimsy which used to say that, she didn't wear one, but you could see. And mine, I'm just down. You can't see. So anyway, I love bathrobes very much. And hi, Linda. And let's see, what else? Comfort food. Didn't we say comfort food? Comfort food. When I was not dieting, nachos, lots and lots of nachos, every day nachos, because I love cheese, but and I love pizza. I love pepperoni pizza, but none of that for a dieter. Anyway, I love coffees, and I love movies. I love old movies, new movies. I like film noir, if you're familiar with it.
Yes.
That the sort of the stuff, and I like to read. So I think that's probably enough for what I have. But yeah,
That's good.
Okay, Val, you're up. What makes you happy?
I am very weird in a good way.
That's why we love you.
So weird things make me happy.
That's good.
Like, I woke up yesterday. I said this on my earlier show with Dr. Gale. I have been totally fascinated with jumping timelines and looking at things that are a glitch in the matrix or something glitching, some weird thing. Because it's happened to me. Lo and behold, there are thousands and thousands of people who are having all of these things happen to them.
Yeah, I believe it.
I am like in seventh heaven in my genre, because what did I read when I was a little kid? No, I didn't read comic books. Well, no, I did read Mad Magazine, but I read Fate Magazine, the little magazine that would come like Reader's Digest, only it was called Fate Magazine. You'd read about UFOs, paranormal experiences.
True.
And this is what I grew up
on that one. I never saw that one.
My friend's father had that, and we used to look through it.
Yeah. It'd be like going to Disneyland for me. Sure. So anyway, so yesterday morning, when I was looking up all these things are on. I don't really have TikTok, but they put them on YouTube as well. So I've been watching a lot of shows that'll just zero in on them. And this one particular thing happened to this lady. She was sitting in bed with her 9-year-old son, and they were watching TV at night, just entertaining themselves, keeping each other company. And he got up to use the restroom, which is an ensuite right there. She could hear him in there. And he took a long time. And then she finally got up and said, she started to talk to him. He's not in there. He couldn't have gotten out of there because there was only the one. And so she starts hearing his voice. And so she follows the sound. She looked all over the house. She looked all over the house and could not find him, but she kept hearing his voice. Finally, she went out on the porch. And she said, "What are you doing out here?" And he said, "I've been on my iPad trying to FaceTime you all this time." "What are you talking about?" "Mom, you weren't in the bedroom. You weren't in there. I came out of the bathroom and you weren't there. Where were you? I came outside to see if your car was gone. I thought you left me alone," because he's only 9.
My God.
This is when you go into another, it's a glitch. You go into another timeline, just briefly. And of course, you can't see each other because you're in different timelines. And they're all like, those are the kind of things. Or one other one I'll share. A little girl was staring out the window in the late morning. "Mom, Daddy. And she said, "Oh, she must be saying a different word, like a doggy or something." And she got up to go look. "No, Daddy." And sure enough, she saw her husband out there. His car, him walking out of the car and going to the mailbox like he always does. And so they were waiting for him to come in, but he didn't come. And she said, "I'm just going to get on the phone and call him, like we always do. I call my husband and he's in the same house." So she called him. "Well, honey, I'm not home. I work." And so, and sure enough, they ran right over and looked out. No car was there, nothing there. It's that kind of glitch, We're talking
Well,
glitches.
and the same thing happened with a guy that took his son's camp, or they were going on to Eastern Washington, and he found that diner, went in, and everything was cheap. They ate the food. And on the way back, they stopped there, but it's not there anymore. And it has never been there.
That's exactly it, Aley. You said it.
That happened to my husband.
See how weird I am?
Yeah, no, it's not weird. That happened to my husband. He used to tell a story about when he was a teenager, and he and a group of his buddies were in the car joyriding one weekend night, and they're on the back roads up in Mississippi, just driving. And they're cruising, and they see a sign that says "End of the World." And they're like, "Ooh, end of the world! Let's go check it out." And they keep going forward, and it's like this little. There was like 4 or 5 buildings, like an intersection with one blinking red light, and there was like a building on each corner, a couple of buildings around them. Not a soul in sight, not an animal, not a sound. There was electricity. Things were, lights were on, the outdoor lights.
Yeah.
But he said they all were like, the hair stood up on their arms. All of them got freaked out. They were like, you know what? This may really be the end of the world. Let's get the hell out of here. And they turned around and they left. Well, the next day they're telling their other friends about it, and everybody's making fun of them, thinking they're made up this story.
Yeah.
So he and one of the guys that was with him, they decided a couple of days later, we're going to go find this place. And he spent all day driving up and down every back road that they went on.
You have to switch
and
time.
Never found nothing. And he used to always talk about that. I used to tell him, it's
in another dimensional space.
Yeah, that's what I used to tell him. He went into another dimension, and he didn't believe in any of that stuff. And he's like, no, don't start
all
that.
Dimensions are different frequencies.
Yeah.
And somehow you get on this certain frequency. Somehow you jump the timelines.
Yeah.
And it's happening. These glitches are happening more and more, and they're happening to a lot of people all over the world. Had I not stumbled on that yesterday, that was my sweet spot.
Really?
Hi, Teresa. Hugs to you.
Hi, everyone. It's man.
And Marina, you're up.
Well, now, it doesn't take much to make me happy. It really doesn't. As most of you know, I love to laugh. I really do honestly believe that laughter is the best medicine. Whatever is going on, find the humor. Find the humor and just laugh about it, because whatever might be going on, it will pass. It will pass. So, that I like to be positive. I crochet when I can. The arthritis sets in, so it makes it a little hard. I paint. I write. Love to read. And just anything that I can get my hands on that I can read and enjoy, kind of, escape into the fantasy. And, my comfort food, honestly, is homemade chicken soup. That is the cure-all for absolutely everything. You got a heartache, chicken soup. Got a stomach ache, chicken soup. Ingrown toenail, I'll make a pot of chicken soup. It's a cure-all for everything. And
that was my grandmother.
Yes. Yeah. Love to socialize, love to get together with like-minded people, like to have a good argument once in a while, like just take
debate.
Yes.
Debate your points. And
yes, exactly. Yeah. Take a side. And I particularly enjoy spending time with people that I know are smarter than I am, because I learn.
Yes.
So
that's
depending. Cool. I would have to put a caveat to that, because some people who are smarter than you are want to use that to belittle you.
No.
Whereas other people who are smarter than you are and realize that they're smarter than you are will then spend time to try to educate you without putting you down. Those are the kind of people I like to hang out with. So
yeah. So that's kind of me in a nutshell, really. I'm an open book. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
That's why I love you so much, Marina. That's exactly the way you should be. Authentic.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I don't have PJs. I don't wear jammies. I have muumuus. I love my muumuus. Those are comfortable. Real quick, I want to say hello to Suzanne is here. Marby is here.
And she made chicken noodle soup tonight, so she was right with us. Yes.
Right on you. Marby's here. I got to meet Marby in Dallas. So that was exciting. And Jules Learning to Listen is here.
Yes.
And
Linda Kennedy.
And there was somebody else that popped in. Who was it?
Jill Sinanan.
Jill, yeah.
Pisces reader. Who else?
Robin Smith. That's who else popped in. Pisces reader. Nice. Teacher Barbara and Shari French. That's who. Another Shari. So
another Shari. Wonderful.
Yeah, we just one letter off from each other. So I'm an A, she's an E.
Yeah. Nice.
But I like my muumuus. Comfort food, I like chocolate and gumbo. And that's in the wintertime. If I want to feel comfort, it's a good bowl of chicken and sausage gumbo.
Yeah.
And any time of the year, it's a piece of chocolate. It doesn't have to be more than a couple of bites, just a little piece of chocolate. Yeah. I've had the glitches like Val was talking about. That's so wild because I've never really talked about it because I didn't think it was a thing. I didn't think anybody else.
Who knew it was a thing? It's so a thing.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, God, I can't even count how many times weird stuff like that has happened to me. You walk in the room and you're like, well, where the hell did everybody go? And then you go back out and come back in and they're all there. And you're like, all right.
Exactly. Those are the glitches.
I must be on some good drugs tonight. You know, what's going on?
Holographic universe. Those are the things that the programming isn't quite sinking anymore. It's like we're going to be out of the program.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I was so afraid of the Twilight Zone, because I really thought that those things could happen, and I guess they could.
Scared me to death, and I could never miss it.
Thank you. Wow. Me too. I watched every episode, and every episode terrified me.
Terrified to death. Couldn't go to the bathroom by myself.
Yes.
That and Outer Limits.
Oh, and One Step Beyond.
One Step Beyond. I never missed One Step Beyond.
Okay. Yep.
Wow.
I think we were being trained.
There was a couple of others too along the same lines.
Who was it? The Invaders. Remember that?
I've watched
the ETs had a baby finger that kind of went like this,
I remember that.
And that's how you could tell. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I remember.
But I've always been into science fiction, especially. I love historical romance. That's the girly part of me is the historical romances. Because I read them and I think, oh no, that guy wouldn't last long with me. I would chew him up and spit him out the first time he talked to me that way.
I read so many, Shari, I kind of OD'd on them.
Yeah. I did too, for the longest.
Yeah, for the longest
that's
time.
all I would read. And then it's like I go through phases. It's like with certain foods. Yeah. I'll get hungry for a certain food, and that's all I'll eat for weeks and weeks and weeks. Because that's all I want. And then I don't want to look at it. It's like, no, that makes me sick just to look that way.
You know, I get on pad thai with tofu, and I won't get off of it. And I'll finally now, after months, I'm finally done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it drives everybody here crazy when I get on those kicks.
Yeah.
But it's the same with reading. I'd get on the kick of a certain kind of book, and that's all I would read from months on end, would be one book after another.
Yeah.
And or TV shows or movies. I love to watch movies. I like action adventure movies. I like things that go boom. and with improbable, it's like if you actually had that happen to you, you would be limping with broken bones. You would not still be running. I mean, you're not Captain America, so you would have injuries. Which is why I think I always like the Die Hard movies, was because he actually got hurt, and showed it, and it was like, okay,
but he never died.
But he never dies. That's right.
The one thing about the Die Hard movies, God bless him, Bruce Willis. I mean, John loves him. John loves him, but it's a predictive ending, and I just can't. I've got to have something that makes me not know what might happen.
Well, it's a predictive ending now, but back when they first came out, there had not been any movies like that. I remember when the original Die Hard came out.
Bruce Willis wasn't going to die.
People, I mean, he was kind of brand new on the scene. Yep.
True.
The only thing people knew him from was Moonlighting, and that was the TV show.
Moonlighting was great. I always watched it.
That was a lovely. I used to watch it every week. But I remember when the movie came out, and it was just nobody saw a hero that actually got injured, but still won the day. It was like very much up in the air. Was he going to make it or not? Now you look back and you see so many movies followed along with that, but it was
Jason Bourne series. He always is, he's always hunted by his own people. He's always, so you never know what's bad stuff is going to happen to him.
And there's a whole slew. There's the car driving one. They've done like 7 or 8.
The Fast and Furious series.
Fast and Furious. Thank you. I watched the very first one and was like, just never watched anymore.
Because
I like superhero movies. I like to watch Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and Iron Man and Captain America. I really enjoy those because it's pure fantasy. I can completely disengage my brain to reality and just buy into the fantasy and escape. And that's why I like those.
I've got to have a fantasy like, you're like your Star Wars, where you didn't know what was going to end. You never knew.
Well, I love that one too.
Because I have to have, for my mind to be into something, the unknown, not knowing. If I can predict the ending, I'm not going to enjoy it as much as
Star Wars. The very first Star Wars movie, Episode 4.
Hate that shit.
That gave me my religion, because up until that point, I didn't really believe on anything. I didn't know what to believe in. And as I sat in that theater and Obi-Wan Kenobi started explaining the Force to Luke Skywalker, I just remember this epiphany and me sitting there going, that's it. That's what I believe. Nobody else talked like that,
Of course, it's the light, the lightsaber, the divine source.
That too. Yeah, I love that movie.
It's all the genre.
My daughter and I. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you really want a good movie, Val, there is one that I highly recommend. It's called No Way Out. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've heard of it. Give me the premise. I might have. No Way Out sounds familiar. Wasn't that with Bruce Willis?
I can't remember who was in it, but it starts off with this guy's in the government and he's having an affair with this woman, and anyway he ends up accidentally killing her. And then it kind of takes off from there, and there is some spy action involved. If I tell you anymore, I'm going to give it away. And it was one of those movies that I watched and I thought, okay, I got this, because I'm usually pretty good at watching a few minutes of it and going, okay, I know what's going on. So, but this one, when it got down to the end, it was like, oh no!
Sixth Sense did that to me.
Sixth Sense
when I watched that the first time I watched it, and the end, and I was like,
killed the girl or something. There's some weird twist to that one, probably. But yeah. So yeah,
I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up.
I've got it right in front of me. The cast is actually
Cosner. No.
1987 film.
Yeah,
and
that almost looks like,
and it's Kevin Costner.
It is Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sure.
I don't remember ever seeing that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was the remake of a 1948 film, believe it or not.
Oh.
And
it was a film noir.
The Navy, Tom Farrell, a Navy lieutenant, meets a young woman, and they survive a passionate fling, blah blah. And I think there was something like maybe his wife kills I don't know, remember, and sets him up. I don't know. I don't remember. There's something nefarious.
I remember going to the movies
that one out.
with my daughter.
Yeah,
back in the day, I think it was around 2005 or something, and we went to see Vanilla Sky.
Oh yeah,
and it was with Tom Cruise, but he wasn't as weird then. But anyway, we went and we watched it, and we got it. It was a very ambiguous ending, but we got it. And the lights come on, and everybody else in the theater is going,
like scratching their head because they don't understand.
Katie and I are talking about it, and they're stopping and saying, "What was that? Well, I don't understand that."
They couldn't lift themselves out of their little 3D consciousness and get
Yeah. So they didn't like it because they didn't understand it. But there's a lot of movies that have ambiguous endings where you have to make up what you think happens.
Yeah, you can pretty much decide yourself how it ends because it doesn't exactly tell you, or there'll be a little scene right at the end that just kind of trails off, and you're like, well,
it's like Inception when he throws he's holding a coin.
I was just thinking of that, the top, the little top that he would spin.
Well, what about Close Encounters?
Oh, I loved that one. And I loved that one.
Going home.
E.T. Bone Phone. Yeah.
Jurassic Park. That was another favorite in our house, just because it was.
The first one was brand new, fresh. Everyone after that was no good because you knew the ending. But Jurassic Park, the original, it was like candy. I loved it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was one of the.
Something else that you may have even thought about, and can you imagine building a ride where you sit on this ride and there's dinosaurs and whatnot? And
I know.
I mean, that's just
No, thank you. I don't think I want to do that.
I mean,
not after watching the movie anyway.
And then of course,
very likely get
if
in.
You want to laugh at something? There's Sharknado.
There is that too.
Unfortunately,
that is mindless entertainment that really doesn't have much of a plot, but it's just funny.
Yeah.
I have my mindless entertainment. I have my mindless entertainment that doesn't have much of a plot. I watch one show on TV, on the Hallmark Channel, When Calls the Heart.
Yes.
I've been watching that series from the day one.
Never seen it.
I have never seen the series.
I'm like a diehard.
Okay.
I've never seen it because I don't have the Hallmark Channel. I don't have TV. So
those of you who have watched know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
When the Canadian Mountie is going to win the day. Because I mean, I was like all in the Canadian Mountie camp and not the I'm just going to say
if I want to laugh, I watch Uncle Buck, and I've seen it 25 times.
Yes.
John Candy is my very, very favorite comedian actor.
Uncle Buck. I loved John Candy and Uncle Buck.
Yes.
Remember when he's trying to put the laundry in the dryer and the lady's waiting, but she can't see what he's doing, and he's like, "You just stand there while I shove this in." The whole thing is just a bowling ball falls on her head. Yeah.
I told my husband, he knows that is almost my favorite movie in the whole wide world. because of John Candy. And when
Yes.
he died, I was just heartbroken.
We were all
definitely.
devastated in my family.
We were
Yeah.
all, we were,
Heartbroken.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a close family friend that died.
Yes. I loved him in that. And
Absolutely.
I loved him in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes.
Oh, that was a good movie. Look what Rossi says. She says, someone read that there will be woolly mammoths roaming in the U.S. in the near future.
I wouldn't be surprised because they're playing with DNA and they're matching them with elephants.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, they capture all that in the fossils and like in amber, just like Jurassic Park had said. So that is a true thing. And you can definitely clone and create from those cells.
I think that's what I've always liked about science fiction, is because
there's truth in it.
There is truth in it. You know, most of the people who write science fiction are scientists on some level or other, you know.
It's true.
When I saw the very first Star Wars movie, the first time I saw it was in Cocoa Beach, Florida, with my aunt and my uncle. And we were like a block down from NASA.
Yeah.
And so it was a theater full of pilots and scientists and engineers and, you know, and their families. And the movie blew me away. I mean, I was gobsmacked, but it was the conversations that I heard as we were leaving the theater, listening to these very science people going like, oh yeah, and did you see when they did that? You know, if we inverted this or if we did that, we could make it do. And it was like just watching the gears rolling in their head. That was fascinating to me. And then I think back to the original Star Trek TV series, and so much of what they depicted in that show that did not exist at that time, like automatic doors, you know, an iPad,
communicator,
you know, a scanner. None of that stuff existed.
Yes,
no,
it was all children. It was all
grandfather. The grandfather of all this, Shari, is H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells.
Yes, absolutely.
He was
Gene
like
Roddenberry was another one. He was the one that came up with so much of this. But it was the children of the 60s that watched the original Star Trek that as they grew up thought, why don't we have automatic doors?
Absolutely. I love Star Trek. I like the original.
I mean, so much of the base technology that we don't even think about today came from that TV series.
In 1897, H.G. Wells wrote War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
How did he even conceive of spaceships and things coming down here?
Yeah.
Just even thinking of that in 1897.
Yeah.
How did he think of in 1895 changing, going forward or backward in time?
Yes.
How did he even think of any of that?
You know, my great grandmother, she was born in 1898. So when she was born, they got across Texas in a covered wagon. And she lived all the way through the technology era, the space shuttle era. She died when she was 96 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So it was 1996 when she passed away. My son, now this was my great grandmother. This was my mother's mother's mother, right? I grew up with her. My son used to go spend a couple of weeks every summer with her when he was a little boy. And it was his great grandmother. And I was like, do you realize how rare it is?
Yes.
That you not only know who your grandmother is, but you know who your great grandmother is, and go spend time with her every summer. And she loved it. But it was the fact that she witnessed in her lifetime us going from covered wagon to space shuttle.
Yes.
And was fascinated with it all. You know, she thought it was just the coolest thing ever. And whereas a lot of older people, you know, back during the 80s and stuff, they were not into that at all. You know, they thought it was something evil come this way.
Earth Star says, love anything. Yeah, Monty Python and everything Mel Brooks.
Yep.
Monty Python. Oh, yes, my dear. I'm totally.
And the British Office is much better than the American.
Oh, yes.
I second that.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. There is so much humor in that Monty Python.
Gene Wilder was such a superb actor. The timing that he had with things. I remember going to the theater to see Blazing Saddles.
Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think my girlfriends and I went to see Blazing Saddles like 20 times in the theater.
Little was popular. He was on a TV series at the time. And because originally Richard Pryor was supposed to play that role.
Right.
And things didn't work because he wrote most of it. But it didn't work out for him to act in it. And so when they were like, well, who do we get for the black actor to play this role? And he said, go with Cleavon Little, which was a touch of genius. And he and Gene Wilder
They did.
I mean,
if they made a remake of that, they should put Trump in there because he farts all the time and they could sit around and eat the beans. And
he could be the guy. Yeah, one of the cowboys, but it's a hilarious movie. I mean,
it really
one of the funniest movies and probably my most favorite movie, and you can't even find it anymore, was called Scavenger Hunt. It came out in 78, 79, and it had an all-star cast. It had Vincent Price, Carol Wayne, James Coco, Roddy McDowell, Richard Benjamin, Cloris Leachman, and just a whole host of others that I can't even, Ruth Buzzy, and I don't know, I can't even name them all. But it was about this rich guy who developed, he was like a game maker, like Parker Brothers or something. And he dies. And he names these groups of these people in his family and or servants and or acquaintances, and they all come to the hearing for the will. And the whole premise of the movie is you have to go on this scavenger hunt. Everyone gets an identical list, and whoever comes back by X time with the most stuff with the most points wins all the money, and they get the estate. And so it's this madness of these people going all over Los Angeles, right? Trying to find all this.
That sounds like it's a mad world. Remember that one?
I remember that. Yeah. And it was before that movie.
Okay.
So I think the other movie came off of it. Scatman Crothers was in it.
Oh my God.
Richard Mulligan, was that his name? That he was on Soap. He was the one that would snap his fingers to disappear. He was in that. He played the wacko.
Go figure.
I mean,
but not Marty Feldman when his
that was in
moved to the other side.
What hump? What hump?
And that's another great Gene Wilder movie, Young Frankenstein.
But, Scavenger Hunt, if anybody can ever find a copy of it, covet it, watch it. It is hilarious.
That's fun.
And
there's another good one that was it was called, or it's called Walk Like a Man. And I can't remember exactly who was in it, but
Happy Normal.
And the comedian who kind of plays the lead role does such a good job of a human imitating a dog, imitating a human, that it's priceless. Yeah, and it's based on the story of there's two brothers. Their parents are somewhere up north in Alaska, and they're going back home, and the older brother doesn't like the younger brother, so he kind of throws him out of the the snow sled. Okay, throws him out. Don't know what happened to the baby. Well, the baby, the youngest brother, Yeah. He ends up being raised by a pack of wolves.
Oh my.
And it's not until I think that the older brother is looking to do something with the estate. Anyway, they have to figure out what happened to this younger brother. So there's an investigation, and they look into it, and they discover him, up in Alaska, and it's like bringing this wolf boy back into civilization. And
I know that's a great movie.
It is funnier than you know what.
Didn't they make a song in the 80s, Tarzan Boy? Do you remember that? There was a song.
Yeah. Something like
Another
that.
one of our favorites from back in the 70s was Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes.
The original one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was just
breaker.
It was just so Jackie Gleason was just so he shocked so many people with the character that he played in that movie.
Buford T. Justice, his name was.
Buford T. Justice, because it was so different than any other character he had ever played before. And it was like the polar opposite, and people were shocked that he played this role and did so. He should have won an Oscar for it in my book, because it was just phenomenal. But I can spend all night talking movies, because I love all different kinds, all different genres. It just depends on my mood. Same with music. It's rock and roll today, it's country tomorrow, it's classical the next day. Just depends on what my mood is.
Let's talk about Gregory Peck back in the day.
Oh,
there's a man.
What a man!
What a man!
Oh man! Huh?
Yeah.
Intelligent, sexy.
Sexy.
My husband's cooking his food. But I mean, Gregory Peck. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them are just beautiful, beautiful looking men.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Rock Hudson was another one
who was.
I love Jimmy Stewart, because my father was bald on the top, but he reminded me of Jimmy Stewart. And when he got older.
I mean, everybody loves Jimmy Stewart.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And Earth Star, how about you want to talk about little sayings? Here's one for you. But sir, it's wafer thin.
Uh-oh. Here's the thing. My two favorite people in the movie industry that made a lot of movies together, Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy.
What are you talking about?
I love them.
I didn't know she was a lesbian. Did you?
Well, that's when she had the Parkinson's thing going on. But in their earlier, Pat and Mike comes to mind. I love the one where he was coming in to be some kind of expert in efficiency into a department store, and they had a big department with a computer that took up the whole entire department, and they'd answer people's questions. And they were going to replace her, who would look up facts and tell people.
Yeah.
Oh.
And of course, they
Alexa.
fell in love, and it was a good story.
Yes.
Now we have Alexa. We don't have to worry, right?
Now they have Alexa, they have GPT chat, they have, I mean, But it was a movie, and it was really cute. It was cute.
Cute.
Yeah. There's a lot of those older movies that are just absolutely fabulous.
I love them. Silk Stockings with Sid Charisse. It is about that whole springtime and Hitler thing.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie. I could watch it a million times.
Yeah.
I like Mrs. Miniver. I like Greer Garson.
Movies back then, even though things were a lot more strict socially, movies back then really would push the envelope. They would push it right off the edge if they could get away with it, in a way that movies today can't even begin.
No, because everybody's offended. Everybody gets triggered by something. It's
I like to I like to watch a bunch of the reaction channels, especially these young people in their teens and their 20s, some in their 30s. Their reaction to the music that I grew up with, and they're blown away like, oh my God, I didn't know music like this existed, and or to see them watch some of the older movies and they are just blown away by nothing's funnier than to watch young hip hop rappers watch Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
And their reaction to it. I get more joy out of watching the reactions now than I do watching the movies because I've seen them so many times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will sit and laugh for hours just watching the reactors because they crack me up. They are so floored that, number one, somebody actually, they said that on TV. Oh my God, I can't believe he said that. And then they'd be laughing in the next second because just the way the timing on everything, would fall. But yeah, it's
Can I just say Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne did a movie together.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yeah, Irish. What did she was in Ireland or something?
She was in Ireland, and they had to have some kind of race, and they were like competitors, but you know what happens. So, but Maureen O'Hara was just, I mean, you could just eat her like ice cream. She was
stunning.
Personality, her spiciness, everything about her, right? Yes. She was like the liberated woman of you would have to
say. Sexy as hell and classy.
Yeah, classy, sexy, smart, everything.
She rang all the bells, no matter what. She rang all the bells. It was like, wow.
When I was on Terry's channel, we go through archetypes in oracles on a show, and I had done Marlena Dietrich. I want to be alone,
Yes.
and
Sophia Loren.
Falling
That's
in
another
love
one.
again.
Never wanted to.
What am I? What to do? Can't help it.
And you got to be sitting on a chair with your legs wide spread open, sitting backwards.
Backwards.
On
with fishnets on and
fishnets all the way.
Yeah, totally. Those were just some of the funniest, the liveliest moments. And it's funny how sometimes, what was old is new again.
Yeah.
I remember years ago when I was a coordinator for a foreign exchange program. Anyway, we brought in a whole bunch of foreign exchange students, and we were having a big get together for all of them. And the song Moni Moni came on. And I loved that song. So here I am. I'm dancing and I'm Moni Moni. And one of the boys said, Marina, do you know the words to that song? I said, yeah, I did. Absolutely. Yes. I used to listen to it. But it's a new song. No, it's not. It's an old song.
I don't like replays of things. But do you know Moni stands for Mutual of New York? It was a bank when he was writing the song. He looked across and it said Moni, and that's how he found Moni.
Oh my gosh.
Mutual of New York.
See, that's the kind of stuff I like to learn,
Yeah.
Is little trivia
I love
stuff
playing
like that
Trivial
where you're like,
I love it.
That's where that came from, right? I mean, I can remember hearing songs in the 70s and getting all excited about this new song, and my mom would just look at me and say, no, that's an old song, and they used to play it in the 40s. It'd be like, oh damn. I thought I was getting her, stumping her with a new song, and she'd be singing right along with it.
Yeah, exactly. Know the words. Even the words that you kind of whispered under your breath because you couldn't say out loud, like the one section.
George Carlin from the album Class Clown and the 7 dirty words you can never say on TV.
Yeah.
I memorized them at the age of 15 and I can still spout them off today.
Yes.
I won't do it
my
because
son to see him when he was 15. Yes, he loved him. Yeah.
And,
he did.
Oh my God, I would listen to George Carlin.
Uh-huh.
I had several of his albums, but the Class Clown was the name of the album. It was
Bing
just,
bong, 5 minutes past
I
the
would
hour. 5
roll
o'clock.
on the floor. I would laugh so
While
hard.
I'm memorizing the words to Iron Butterfly music. Got a Davida.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh God, I remember that one. Oh,
Yes.
And I like Jethro Tull. Thick as
yes.
a brick or
Yes.
Locomotive Breath. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact that he would stand on one foot, on one
Mhm.
leg to play the electric flute.
Ian Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
Yes,
awesome.
The Quiet Man. Yes, Lisa Keller. Thank
Quiet
you.
Man, a great
Yes,
movie.
that's what it was.
Lisa Keller. I am telling
And there
you,
was another someone had posted up there with John Wayne Hellfighters.
you're going to
That
want
was
to watch.
another good movie. He and
Pay
a
attention-
younger guy that was popular at the time
pay
played
attention to
oil
Marina-
field
to
specialists that
Marina
would go put out
O'Hara.
fires.
Marina O'Hara, because O'Hara, she was fabulous in that movie.
She was fabulous in everything she did.
Yeah.
I
Cheech
can't think
and
of
Chong,
one thing
oh my
she did that
gosh.
she was not.
Yes. Cheech and Chong. Listen, are
Cheech
you
and
guys
Chong.
not happy that we did this? Because this is, it's been almost an hour. And tell
Everything
me
up his
honestly, did you
nose.
not forget about a lot of the crap that's been going on and just sit back and
For a
reminisce
little while.
and laugh?
For a little while. Yeah. Just for a
Yeah.
little while.
Even for a little while. It'll
Yeah.
carry us through.
Cheech and Chong, boy, they were one of my favorites.
Cheech and Chong.
Do we have any
Richard
questions
Pryor,
tonight?
I had a couple of his albums, and
Are there any questions tonight from anybody? No? Okay.
no, we didn't
All
have
right.
any questions tonight.
All right.
So, Cheech and Chong, hilarious. I had several of their
Remember
albums.
Sister Mary Elephant? Wasn't it that their shtick when they said that? Sister Mary Elephant? I think
Oh,
it was. Oh,
And
God.
one of the skits they did was about a kid who shoved everything up his nose. And they had to take him to the doctor, and the doctor had to get a hammer and chisel and to knock
Sorry,
it out.
Ness. Ness and
Yeah.
Lise put up questions, but we don't take them in the chat.
No, not in the
During the
chat.
show.
Yeah, we only take
And,
them.
yeah. And I think, Ness, I did get your question, but it was late. And you know what? That's why
We have
I
time.
put up the guidelines with the deadlines so that we have
Time to go
we have
through.
time to go through it and get it all ready. So yeah,
Yeah.
but we'll save it for next time.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Next week. We'll
well,
be back next week.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. So I used to love a good comedy album, a good comedy movie. If I feel my emotions really upset and I know all I need to do is have a good cry and I'll feel better, I'll go find a sad movie and put it on. That'll make me sob my eyes out. And then I feel better,
Mhm.
Because it gets that emotion out. But generally, yeah, I like things that go boom and
My favorite one for that is the Glenn Miller story, because I love the music and because
Yes.
it was a true story, and
It's
I've
true
watched that a
story.
million times as well. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Stewart and
Was
Allison, the
perfect.
one that does the diaper commercials now, Depends commercials. June Allison.
June Allison.
Allison, yeah.
Yeah, I always loved June Allison.
Yeah, she had beauty. She had beautiful energy.
Yes.
She just really did. Carried it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the chalice from the palace. Oh my God, Wayne. Yes.
And Danny Kaye, I mean, who doesn't love Danny Kaye, for goodness sakes?
Oh God,
Yes.
he was.
Yeah, I mean,
Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. He was
Yes,
in that.
that was another good one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
that was a good one. But
But
what
you know,
about more
actors-
currently, but not current, National Treasure? You have to admit, even though Nicolas Cage has gone a little bit downhill, the stories of National Treasure
Are great.
those are fun treasure hunting kind of secret kind of
Yeah.
things being revealed.
Yeah.
A little bit like Raiders of the Lost Ark, when you go find special
Stones
treasures.
and stuff. Yeah.
And you have to study the history to know how to figure out how to get to it.
Yes, and don't you love that? I mean, just the concept of that, and
Mm-hmm.
how they had to take the old parchment and see how to display what were hidden words to give you clues.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
in what was it in the
That was the first one, National
Declaration of Independence? They were
Yep,
looking
yep. on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
You could have messed it up.
That was good.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
By the way, do you all know there's a new Planet of the Apes movie coming out?
Oh,
And
really?
I remembered that because of Charlton Heston.
Oh,
But
yeah.
with Charlton Heston, Soylent Green is people. Yeah, I think you may be right at some point that Soylent Green will be people. So, yeah, scary shit. Mm.
Scary. I don't want that in I don't want a dystopian universe. Thank you. So I choose. Let me just stick to the universe.
Yeah,
I'm not using that.
You're not going to use that.
I'm not
lovely
choosing it.
tagline.
I'm not going to have a universe with that in it.
Suzanne,
So I guess you're right.
The chalice from the palace has the brew that is true. The pellet with the poison is in the vessel with the vessel.
That's great, Suzanne.
Yes. Yeah. And repeating that. Wait, no, did you say no? I said that. Yeah, that was.
That's what I used to love about Monty Python, is because they would just pull some of the most off the wall stuff and put it in there and then play it off seriously while you're rolling on the floor laughing, and they're like, I mean, John Cleese is just.
Those are the kind of things you have to watch over and over and over to get all of them, because you're laughing too hard to hear everything.
Yeah, because every time you watch it, you see or hear something new. I mean,
exactly.
And,
absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rossi. Clint Eastwood. I'm sorry, but I love all the spaghetti westerns. I am like, hang 'em high, all the.
I used to watch Rawhide. I loved Rawhide. Yeah, Rawhide was awesome.
I mean,
with Mushy and Mr. Wishbone.
Like he had a beautiful voice.
Wasn't he cute back then?
Oh yeah, and his son looks just like he did.
Yes,
it's like he spit him out.
Oh,
yeah,
handsome man. Yeah,
I haven't seen his son. So.
I mean, and I remember the first time I saw Paint Your Wagon, it was like, wow, he can actually sing.
Play Misty for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a creepy.
That's a good one.
I kind of ruined Misty for the song. I used to like it before.
Suzanne says, don't get Wayne started on quoting Monty Python.
We do that same thing at my house. Yes.
Two Mules for Sister Sarah. I remember that one too. That was a good one. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm exhausted now.
I'm totally wiped out.
Me too. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, we went 2 minutes over, but I think it was worth it. We all feel better.
Yes.
Yes. None of everybody. Yeah.
None of us glitched or itched at the wrong time, so we're doing good. Thank y'all for hanging out with us.
Yes.
And
bye, everybody. Take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good week.